Pistons are such a disciplined team. They're a very physical team, mentally and physically tough. They did everything they wanted to against the Knicks, and we could say, hey, look, second matchup where you don't have Towns and OG, we knew it was going to be an uphill battle. You wanted to see something a little bit closer, but really, this is even with the depth this Knicks team has, they're very top heavy talent team. So when you don't have two of your top five guys, you knew you were not going to get a lot of offense tonight. And look, Detroit knew that. They went out there and they executed. I mean, we saw their defense just smother Jalen Brunson. Brunson got no airspace, no room to really operate. And you could do that when you don't have another offensive threat out there. Even though you have Bridges, Bridges is not aggressive, crafty enough to really consistently break down and get to the cup and really force defenses to, think twice, making Jalen Brunson essentially, easy to take out of this game. All right. So tough game for Brunson, man. I mean, if you really want to see how crazy this game was, just go look at when Landry Shamet did the widest sidestep to get a three, and then you got Thompson, Asar Thompson out here, still flying out of nowhere, blocking his shot, blocking Josh Hart's layup. This Pistons team is very good, very talented, but I can't make too much of it until we see what happens at the postseason, man. As we saw last year, this Knicks team lost to all the top teams last year, went 0-8 as we remember, and next thing you know, they get to the Eastern Conference Finals. So I'm not going to make I can't really predict what's going to happen. But looking at this, man, not great for the Knicks for tonight, but you knew it was going to be an uphill battle. What do you think, CK?
Um, all that's well and good. Like we said right before we went live. I guess I was just disappointed with the others, in this game. It felt like once the second unit came in, that's when they really found their groove. Because Cade Cunningham was, at least until the second half, he really wasn't really doing too much in this one. And we mentioned, Jalen Durham being out, and I know everybody's throwing around, well, OG is not here and Cat's not here, so this is what we expect. I disagree with that, man. I really
Mm,
was looking to see guys step up in those roles with those opportunities, because though we were down two big pieces, and well, three if you want to include Deuce with the news we got there, we did
sure.
get Hart to return. I understand he tweaked something and then went out later on in the night, but we did have Hart return. Shamit's coming off of some great nights and here and there, and all these guys are, making they've been stepping up in this 8-game win streak. And in a game like this is one of those things where you're looking for that championship DNA. You're looking for, all right, next man up, who's going to step up, even if it ended up in a loss. Not like this. We knew the story that happened last time we played Detroit, and the loss was identical. And then we do this again, going to Detroit with that's where I'm disappointed at. I'm disappointed in seeing Shamit go 2 for 7 in this one. I'm disappointed in seeing Hart have the slow start that I get. He's coming back from injury, but I thought that at least we would see the hustle Hart. Him doing a little bit of everything. Even Mitch just looked like he was out of his element, which was crazy to me. Like Isaiah Stewart had himself a nice night, and it just seemed like he had a hard time. He was having a battle with Paul Reed, and I'm like, man, any other day of the week, my man Mitch out there, making Paul Reed look little, but Paul Reed today just got the best of him. And I was just like, yeah, this is a game we got to, turn off and get ready for Boston. Yeah, so I guess I'm more disappointed in the fight from the team. I feel like there was just no level of fight. I don't care about who's missing and who didn't play.
Mm.
If we lost the game and it was a close one where we at least saw effort, it was rough. It was a rough watch. Yeah, good for Detroit. Glad you're up 2-0 in the series. Cool. I'm more disappointed with the just the dog aspect from this New York Knicks team. 8 games in a row, Alex, and that's how we lost the streak, brother. We lost it like that.
We lost it like that, man, and
Almost a 40-point loss, and we're just
that
okay with that. That
I'm
doesn't sit
not
right with me, bro.
I'm
That doesn't
not
sit right
okay with it. I'm not okay
with
with it. I just kind of like at this point, what was there to really like? What was there? What? Who? Let me ask you this. Let me push back a little bit. Who were you expecting to show up really in this game to really help Jalen Brunson offensively outside Bridges? Who?
me. Landry Shamet and Jordan Clarkson. Jordan Clarkson trade deadline's done. That's out the window. You made it. You're here. You survived. So now you have an opportunity with the Deuce news. We just traded for Alvarado. So this is your opportunity now to prove you, Alex, and CK, myself, right, that you should be back in the rotation. I felt like this was the perfect open invite for him to go out there and play out. But he looked very timid tonight. He went the whole first half with one shot. He made it, but that was it. And then on top of that was in a bit of foul trouble and was non-existent. So I mean, at the very least, if he went at least full Jalen Brunson and was and even chucking, to a degree, not saying we want that, but to a degree, at least showing some aggression to find his offense, then at the very least, all right, bet he's trying. But to have the one shot, be in foul trouble, just looked like he was existing, wasn't cool with that. At least, with Landry Shamet, we got effort defensively. We were doing the little scrappy things that he does, but he can't let him off the hook. Now he's a fixture in the rotation. So he went 2 for 7. We go hard on a lot of these other guys when they have bad shooting nights. We got to start putting Shamet in that same light. So to answer your question, I'm looking at Shamet. I'm looking at him to go up there and step up. Same thing I just said about Clarkson. Guys are missing in your spot. Go get yours. Didn't really do that today. And to your point, the defense is going to be heavy on Brunson. They were, even with Bridges scoring as well as he did. They, like you said, they didn't really take him serious as a threat. So that means there's open opportunity for other people. But instead, other way around, we got Jenkins out there cooking us, and we weren't doing much cooking on the other side. So yeah, that'd be my answer to you. I'm looking at Clarkson and I'm looking at Shamet. We got to be honest. We got to look them at that. Like, this is the role now, because Deuce ain't walking through that door for another few weeks. Yeah, hopefully we get OG back. But this was your chance. This is your opportunity, and especially in a game against Detroit, knowing the situation from last time, man, that's juicing me up. I'm about to go crazy. Like this is my opportunity. Clarkson tweeted out not too long ago talking about, I still got some left in the tank. Really? Where? Because we believed in you. Me and Alex came on this show, talked about how, yeah, Jordan Clarkson's going to find himself back in the lineup. I don't know if I feel that way anymore, because this was a prime opportunity. I don't think he took advantage. So that's my answer. Shamet and Clarkson were the two I would look at, where I thought that they would at least give us some more effort offensively, and we didn't really get that.
The post game when they beat the Nuggets, and some caller was like, yeah, they're going to be playing the Pistons second night of a back-to-back, so we should be all right. And I was like, I don't think so, buddy. I'm pretty sure the first time that they played the Pistons were on the second night of a back-to-back, and they still got watched by 30. So,
did you see that stat? Do you see that stat for the Pistons? They're 8-1 on second nights of back-to-backs.
Yeah, they're a young team, man. That don't matter. That matters for the old guys, for the guys that want to pace themselves. These guys are running Indy 500 every single night.
Right.
And look, man, like, whatever super chat was like, oh, it's Mike Brown. Look, we always want to blame the coach whenever they get work like this. Listen, man, they ran into a doghouse and got mauled. Let's just keep it real, bro. Mike Brown can't save them. Mike Brown can't save them, bro. If Cap ain't going, this team is not winning, period. You had no Cap, no nothing. If Jalen is not, Ausar ate him alive, bro. Mike Brown is not saving that. He ate him alive, bro. And that defense smothered him, and they got demoralized. I mean, that's just point blank, period. If you lose the non-Cade minutes with this team is outscoring you by 15 points, what do you expect that done? You can't blink against this team. You cannot afford to go down and just be chucking up threes, because the minute like you do that and you catch the floor's off balance, they're going to run you out the gym. They know the Knicks' weakness. They can't keep up with the speed and athleticism of this team. And that is why they put relentless pressure on the Knicks. Their defense was insane tonight. Starting with Cap, Ausar ate him up. Let's just keep it a buck. They shut him down. And at his size, Ausar is looking crazy out there. His arms is almost touching the floor. So, like, the Knicks had no counters. Like, if Cap ain't going, it's over with. So, but to me, the difference, the turning point was those non-Cade minutes. When Cade picked up the foul trouble, Janice Jenkins, once again, running and gunning. Who else did they have? Like, literally everybody on that second unit. Ron Holland. Tobias, like Paul Reed was getting Mitchie tonight, and he's getting into Mitchie's head. Mitch got to reel it back. You got to dial it back, man. He's getting into his head.
Thanks.
I see Mitchie trying to like smother Paul Reed at the 3-point line. Like that's not necessary. But yeah, I mean, once that the non-Cade minutes, once the bench, what was the bench scoring like when the game was in hand, like 47-20?
Yeah. I mean, the bench did the most I mean, the bench
Killed him.
between all of the starters, even the choice starters, was doing the most damage.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I'm gonna throw this guy's name out there, not as a savior, but I'm talking about as a compete level. This is why, like, you go out and go get like an Alvarado type of player, because I look at a Jenkins in like that same vein where it's just like, yo, you need killers out there, man. Like, this is another game, and again, I'm not gonna blame Tyler or anything like that because the game was already out of hand by the time he even got in the game. But like, you could see where they're just running at two different speeds of intensity and pressure and compete and energy. Like it's just two different levels of athleticism. Like you got to be able to match that compete level first. But with the and the problem with the Knicks was like you couldn't even get downhill. Forget about meeting Stewart at the rim with the rim deterrence. You couldn't even get there. That's how good their defense was, bro. That's how good. When we're running pick and roll and we're running along the sideline, they're sending 3 guys at our ball handlers. You can't see. You can't move the ball. You can't get any ball reversals. They smothered the Knicks tonight defensively. It was a masterclass. So yes, in a way, yes, Brown has work to do in terms of figuring out those counters. But if you're not making your shots against this team, it's gonna be a long night. And their defense, bro, they forced Cap into crazy shots tonight. Crazy shots.
He
There
got
was,
no
I don't
separation,
think
man.
nothing. The 2 shots that he got comfortably were the 2 shots that he hit back to back in that third quarter. Everything else, he was running for his life from Asar. Couldn't shake him. So it's like even if you bring Cat in there and all of that, like it's gonna be tough against this team, man. They're gonna have to make shots, and at the same time, like once they get you in a frenzy, then now the Knicks are on their heels. So like Clyde said in the telecast, like the Knicks aren't turning them over. Pistons are what 22nd in the league in turnovers. You can turn them over, but once they have that momentum, now you're on your heels as an already average defense, and they're killing you. It wasn't even Cade that killed you tonight. It was literally everybody else. Levert, that was the other name I was missing. Karis Levert, a guy who continues to kill the Knicks. Again, killed the Knicks tonight. I mean, they had Javonte Green, who's like a career 30% 3-point shooter, looking like a splash brother out there. I mean, yeah, on one hand, their 3-point shooter was just out of this world. It was way above their average. They punched way above their weight from 3. But a lot of that was because they got that momentum because their defense was so ferocious, man. Like, we just had no answers. There was no way to beat that team tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it also goes down to like the Knicks still have a problem with guarding threes as well. And look, I know
Yeah.
to your point that Cade wasn't like the offensive killer tonight. I felt like he still kept everybody involved, and that's the thing that is so good about Cade, right? It's like he can either take over or let his guys do the rest of the work, and that's something that I felt like we couldn't even get, even when Brunson was trying, right? Even getting smothered and just trying to get the ball moving quickly as possible. Nobody gave that answer for this Knicks team tonight. It was just it's tough, man. And this is where I keep saying you cannot miss guys like OG, Cat, Hart. Like that 5 right there, going down to even Deuce and Mitch. You miss anybody, man. This team, it's really going to be a struggle for this team.
It's going to be a struggle, and so I still look at like against a team like this that is so aggressive defensively. You're going to have to find shot creation elsewhere because I'm telling you, the way Asar is looking right now, he remembers getting embarrassed last year, man. They all have that chip on their shoulder against this team. And so if Cap is not effective, this is where I'm looking at like, they got to get McCall going with some looks in the mid-range and get him flowing because that's that's going to be one of their few chances, man. McCall to me is still going to be that X factor for them in the playoffs. Just in terms of getting himself a mid-range bucket Hart, look, man, I give him credit. You had no OG, you had no Cat. He's trying to help this team. If he wasn't out there, they probably get washed by 60. But with the ankle thing, they got to be careful, man. He's not healthy. He's not right now. So I highly doubt he goes. He gives it a go against Boston. We'll see who's left. But they got to watch that, man, because you're already down Deuce. You can't afford to not have Hart at full strength. For that stretch running into the playoffs, he didn't look good at all, and then he re-injured himself several times in this game, so they had to shut him down. Shamet wasn't firing. That was another thing. Shamet wasn't firing.
Mhm.
Clarkson wasn't firing. He was off. So this is why you get the result that you get.
Key stats of the night brought to you by DraftKings. Let's just get this section over with, man, because
Okay.
you already know what it is. So
Okay.
Knicks tonight lost this one 118-80. We had the Knicks losing the rebounding battle 44-35. They would lose the assist battle 31-22. They would lose the steal battle 10-6. They lost the block battle 6-1. They lost the turnover battle 12-13. They lost all shooting percentages, field goal, 3-point, and free throw, because the Pistons shot 53 from the field. Knicks shot 35 from the field. Pistons shot 43% from downtown. Knicks shot 24% from downtown. Pistons shot 87% from the free throw line. At least the Knicks shot 82% from the free throw line. I'll take that. Knicks would then lose the fast break battle 19-11. They would also lose the second chance opportunity 9-8, and they would also lose points in the paint 40-34. Wow, this is a clean sweep, baby. I don't think I've ever seen this Knicks team lose every single team statistical category in one night. Holy cow. Can we get bingo? I mean, if this was just a wire-to-wire victory at this point, the Knicks didn't lead at any point in this game. Good Lord. But yeah, those are the key stats of the night. Any takeaways for you, CK?
My key stat is the final score, because that means the game was over and we can move on to the next one. I'm moving on. There was not one positive stat, sir.
Good Lord, man. Absolutely good Lord. Look, I think the biggest takeaway for me is that it was just all bad. There's really, you can't even look at any one stat. It was just all bad. I think from this whole thing, what you could take away is that the Knicks didn't even put forth any effort to really go out there and get something tangible in this matchup, man. And that's probably like the biggest thing I could take away from this game, is that out of all the things, you could at least try to, like, I don't know, try to battle on the boards. It just lacked hustle, man. Lacked absolute hustle from this team. And can't be having that, obviously, moving forward. This team kind of mailed it in. They essentially, just because they knew they were without their guys. And that's my biggest takeaway from it. That's my biggest takeaway from this matchup, man. They were just not in it to win it. So there you have it. And this is brought to you by our sponsor, DraftKings. All right, shout out to DraftKings, man. Shout out to our sponsor, DraftKings, man. Let me tell you something about DraftKings. As my computer is loading and killing me with getting this thing up and running. But hey, that is just what DraftKings does at times. But, oh, thank God, now it opened. So shout out to DraftKings, man. The NBA's biggest stars deliver the biggest moments, except for tonight. Our stars did not deliver tonight. But nevertheless, with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, you can cash in when they take over. DraftKings has your back with early exit. If your player goes down at any time in the first half, you still get paid in cash. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use that promo code KFTV. New customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets instantly with that promo code KFTV in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, wager tax pass through may apply in Illinois. 21 plus is in most states. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer. So remember, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use that promo code KFTV. New customers can bet just $5. And if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets instantly with that promo code KFTV. Remember, the crown is yours.
As soon as I saw that OG and Cat were out the game, I'm like, all right, man, they're going to get blown out. And then what you see is basically if anything you could take away is OG, OG has these hard cuts diagonally, or he spots up in that corner, so he gets a three. And then you have Mikhail also leaking backdoor for cuts too. So like once you take away OG and then Cat, you have to respect the three. So that's why if you see Detroit, they just basically loaded up on Brunson. So yeah, the physicality that Osir Thompson played on him was coupled with the fact that he's also seeing double teams, triple teams as he's getting inside, So that wears you down over time, which is why he goes like 0 for 8 in the first half. So like, I don't know. I mean, I'll take this one with a grain of salt, but like I didn't expect the team to lose again by another. What was it? Like they were down 40 at one point. Like you gotta come out with some. I mean, you can't get the doors blown off, bro. Like the Wizards beat this team last night. That was the only thing I was disappointed in, man. It's like, and then the other thing is I feel like, Alvarado, when he plays, he's going to have to eat Clarkson's minutes because Clarkson's just a net negative. So, yeah, I feel like the injury bug is starting to hit us. We got to get to All-Star break, but I mean, we got to get healthy, man, because I don't know what's up with OG. OG's got like what, toe stiffness or something like that?
I don't even know what to even classify that as, man. I saw that, I was like, all right.
Yeah.
I'm just taking it as maintenance.
Yeah, and I mean he didn't even travel with the team, so he's not gonna be there. I don't think he's gonna be in the Boston game. So let's just make it to All-Star break and then take it from there. I really want to see Alvarado though. Let's see. Like, let's just chalk this one up. I mean, the other thing is too, bro, guys. I hope that the Cavs play this team in the second round, so that at least they can get banged up a little bit.